Hi, my name is Casey, and today I'll be answering question number 2, which is why is it difficult for theaters to attract new audience members, what obstacles stand in their way, and what are some of the ways theaters have tried to attract new audiences, and would these practices be successful with me or my peers? First, Broadway audiences typically attract well-to-do middle class, and a large percent are tourists, which are tailored, polished, and marketed to appeal to the greatest number possible from the group. Theater in Broadway is aimed for the longest run, so success is often judged by the number of performances achieved. Whereas theaters in communities, long runs are not possible and may not be desirable. Most non-for-profit theaters in the U.S. stage plays for limited runs, usually no more than 6 weeks, often less. These theaters usually offer a series of plays varying types drawn from both past and present. They tend to attract primarily white, well-educated, middle class, and often said middle-aged. In recent years, concern has grown about how to enlarge the theater audience and especially how to attract young and others who have less history of theater going. Plays that appeal to a new constituency may polarize audiences over artistic, racial, class, or gender issues. An increase in production of interest to specific racial or minority groups has been encouraged by foundations and corporations through funding earmarked for this purpose. Theaters that serve a minority population often argue that these grants should not have come to them, which strengthen their work, rather than being used to encourage mainstream theaters to broaden their repertoires, which in doing so attracts audiences away from minority theaters. This raises questions like, should minority theaters cater only to minority audiences, and if any theater can adequately serve the needs of all members of the community or geographical area? How can theaters broaden their audiences? One approach is involving creating outreach programs designed to bring school children to theater or to developing touring productions that travel to schools or community centers. An example of this is a Theater Communications Group Incorporated partnered with state and civic arts agencies to sponsor Free Night of Theater. These are free tickets on a selected night to a broadened range of performances at over 600 theaters in over 100 cities. These attract new audiences and work to encourage them to return, which increases the future number of paying customers, reaching these groups that are currently underrepresented. Developing websites has become a new thing where it provides visual information on the theater, makes tickets available online, and offers special discounts sometimes. They attempt to identify its potential audience and its ability to provide means of reaching them. Sensitivity to varying audiences' tastes and interests is essential to achieving a diversified theater. I believe that these practices would be successful among my peers and I. For example, if the local Rialto Theater put on a free night of theater, I think that it would be a great way of encouraging locals, young and minority, to attend. Especially as a result of COVID, I think community gatherings will be on the rise as many people are just looking for a reason to get out of the house. So as a result, I think that a free night of theater would result in many returners to the theater world.